that. I haven't drank in 18 years.
I was
So
going to say, I know you've been sober a long time.
yeah, man, when my second son was born, I hung it up, man. And I figured at that point I had drank enough in my lifetime for two lifetimes. So
Mm-hmm.
I said, that's enough for me. And also, I wanted my wife to know that I'm out there chasing a dream and not out there chasing, alcohol or women or any of that stuff. I want her to be able to call me on the road at any time and, just have a clean conscience and a clean mindset. When I go out on that stage, man, we're getting opportunities that people who have played 40, 50 years don't get these opportunities. So I don't take it lightly. So when we get these opportunities, number one, I want to go represent my band, my management, my family in the right way. But I also want to be giving the audience the best show that we can give them. There's already enough stuff that comes into the mix with, getting cold or something like that. So I just try to be at the top of my game and give whoever's in the audience 10 or 10,000 the same show, no matter who's there.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, all of that is represented by your name too, right? So your band, your family, your fans, everything is under that Jesse Raub Jr. umbrella. And I mean, as
Amen.
men, we are already probably pretty proud of our names to begin with, right? So like for me, I don't want my name being dragged through the mud. I imagine it's probably tenfold for you since you got all of that stuff under that umbrella. It's even more important.
Well, with social media these days, and
Mm-hmm. Yep.
when you've got 8 guys that travel down the road with, they're all representing you, and you're all representing them.
Yep.
So just trying to find that fine line of everybody having respect for one another and going, hey, when your wife shows up, I'm not going to be in there cussing in the room with your
Right.
wife, and we don't know who's showing up to these shows now. Whenever we get there and say we're doing a show with Kojo, man, there's reps from all over, from Warner and from radio stations and different places. So, we really try to represent at all times, with what's coming out of our mouth, what's coming out of our hearts, and just we want them to feel loved when they're there, and we don't want them to feel disrespected. We want them to know that, man, we're always going to represent in the right way. There ain't going to be no F-bombs and no dirty jokes from the stage. We're there to do business, and we take this serious.
So I imagine you probably have a pretty serious vetting process as well in getting people into your team because everybody has to be passionate for the same reasons, right?
Absolutely. Everybody's been hand selected that's in this band. Daniel Lindsay, who plays bass for me, Daniel's been here for 10 years, going on 11 years this year. Last year, he got his 10-year buckle. And, that says an enormous amount about bands these days. You don't see
Absolutely.
People that stay in bands for 10 days. So, Lucas Sieferman has been here for, probably 6 or 7 years now, I would guess. And Lucas is one of the best guitar slingers in anywhere, man. I mean, I'd put him up against anybody. He's great. He knows his instrument like no other. Trey Newmiller on drums. Trey is just a gem. He's the backbone of our band, and he just brought a whole new level of perfectionist to our band when he showed up. He's very serious about this, and we love that part of him, man. He gets back there, runs the whole set off a click track, and just
nice.
He's serious about it. So, we just had a change. We had to pick up a new player here this past week, and Chance Duhan, they call him Chance Wayne. He came to the table, and multi-instrumentalist, man. Guitar, baritone guitar, steel guitar, mandolin, fiddle. He's one of these things that's going to help to take us to the next level, I think. And, attitude for us exceeds talent. I would rather have someone who is good with a great attitude than someone who is great with a bad attitude.
Yeah.
So everybody's been hand selected from our sound engineer to our management. My manager, man, I met him in Avon, Colorado, and I was playing a show with Ned Ledoux.
Wow.
And Trent Willman, I think Ryan Bingham or somebody was headlining it, but Dina Carter was on it. And we had all these wonderful, wonderful artists on it. But we did an acoustic set to start off the show with Ned and Trent. And my manager, Brian, was doing content at the time. Excuse me. And he pulled me to the side and was like, man, you're great. Could you play a song for me on camera? And I was like, yeah. So at that time, I think my big song was Touch the Water or something. So I played Touch the Water. A week later, he sent me a video of his whole family playing all the parts of everybody for this video. And I call him like, well, man, what do I owe you for this? This is like crazy. You just did this. He's like, it's a gift horse. I just believe in you. And so I think a couple weeks later, I had put out like, hey, we're looking for management. And he called me from Colorado and said, dude, I want the job. And I was like, man, you can't manage me from Colorado. And he said, don't give the job away. 2 weeks later, he called me back and said, I'm in Texas. I want to manage you.
Wow.
And that's the seriousness of what we expect from everyone in this band and the professionalism. And it's, I mean, from everyone all the way across the board, they're that level of human. And I think that's really what we expect. It's just a great human. The musician stuff, that comes second. You know, we're a family first band. So our families come first, and then the music comes after that.
I love that, man. Good stuff. So you talked about growing up in country music. So just to let folks out there know, you grew up and were raised in Magnolia, Texas, right?
Man, I was. I've been in Magnolia, raised my family here, and I grew up in Magnolia. I always say, man,
you're still there now, today?
Man, I was here when it was a 2-lane road.
Let's go. Yeah.
And I grew up on an iron ore road, you know, trying to blow a motor up around every corner. And, you know, now I've got boys of my own, and they're going to be graduating from the same school. And, you know, I have a hard time giving up on things. You know, my guys say, you just give everybody too many chances. I believe in people. And, I love structure. You know, I don't like a lot of change. So.
Me either, man. I'm the same way.